Too easy.
It's too easy.
Too easy.
That's right. Gervonta, Tank Davis versus me, baby.
Career's not over just because you fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul ain't no type of demon. It's not like he about to go in there with Godzilla. You about to play around for 8 rounds, 2 minutes with a dickhead. You know what I mean? No disrespect. But, you know, with somebody that think they know how to fight. This is a still.
Floyd Mayweather has finally broken his silence on the much-hyped showdown between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul. In his first public comments, Mayweather didn't hold back, praising Tank's explosive power and world-class skill, calling him a dangerous force in the ring. But when it came to Jake Paul, Mayweather showed clear skepticism. He questioned whether Paul's rapid rise was fueled by genuine ability or simply the spectacle that surrounds his name.
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder. Nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think of.
Mayweather doubled down on his stance, stressing that Jake Paul cannot truly compete with elite-level boxers. While acknowledging Paul's ability to draw crowds and build a fan base, he insisted that his skill set is nowhere near that of champions who have spent years perfecting their craft. He warned that if Tank were to fight Paul, it would be strictly for money, not credibility. According to Mayweather, the risk far outweighs the reward. Beating Paul would add nothing to Tank's career, but losing would be disastrous.
But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Boxing insiders have echoed similar doubts, dismissing the Paul-Davis clash as more spectacle than sport. British heavyweight Dave Allen even called it farcical, saying Davis would flatten Paul with ease. Promoter Eddie Hearn also expressed skepticism, suggesting Tank might be more interested in chasing money than legacy, hinting that his focus has shifted from championships to paydays.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you are saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Dave Allen has been especially vocal, criticizing the legitimacy of this fight. He pointed out the glaring weight difference, with Paul competing as a cruiserweight and Davis as a lightweight. To Allen, this mismatch undermines boxing's integrity and distracts from meaningful matchups. He also weighed in on rising prospect Moses Itama, insisting that fighters must test themselves against seasoned opponents like Dillian Whyte to truly prove their worth.
Be happening in an exhibition. Thing with Jake Paul, I think he's a good area title level fighter, and that's a good level. Like, you can be proud of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good. But the Mike Tyson fight, I did not like. The Chavez fight was just farcical because he's 10-11 years past his best, up 6 weight divisions. But less of a problem because Chavez wasn't in his 50s. Fighting the MMA guys, again, he's fighting people that aren't do the same, they're not even in the same sport. But while they're a bit older, they're still not in the 50s. So all that stuff. I won't really watch any of it. Didn't really. I think I've watched one fight against Tommy Fury, the only professional boxer in and around his prime years, and he got beat. But I think he's area title level. I think he works really hard. I think he trains hard, and I don't think he's a bad fighter at all. I don't think he's I don't think he's a good fighter, but he's not a bad fighter. His experience, he's not bad at all. But Gervonta Davis is a lightweight. So, by all means, if they make a few quid and nobody gets hurt, then great. But I certainly wouldn't be paying a penny to watch it. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous, farcical. Who wants to watch an exhibition? Gervonta Davis is in his prime years. Why is he wasting his time? Why is not having a rematch with the fella he got a draw with? Why is not fighting? Why is not going up a weight and fighting Lopez and Garcias and them fighters? Why is he fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition? I get the money's great, but he's in the prime years. This is his best year. This is where he can become. Maybe you don't want to be an all-time great. Maybe you don't want to.
Boxing writer Keith Idec also weighed in, blasting the narrative that Tank is ducking Jake Paul. According to Idec, this is completely misleading. Davis's priority should be his mandatory rematch with Lamont Roach, not an exhibition sideshow. He argued that framing the Paul fight as an excuse to dodge Roach is simply false, and that the focus should remain on legitimate obligations.
Well, I think as we discuss this, we should use air quotes when we call it a fight, because I don't see how any athletic commission, in this case the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission, could sanction this as a legitimate boxing match. I think it has to be treated as entertainment to some degree, because you can't put someone they're 65 pounds apart in weight for the most part now. If you look at the cruiserweight limit and the lightweight limit, even if Jake Paul somehow got down to, let's just say 180, and I'm not sure that he'd be able to do that at this point because he's fought so high in weight. Let's just say he got down to 180. They're still 45 pounds apart in weight, and that's just not safe. So if this were to be treated as some sort of, even though they're calling it an exhibition, a legitimate athletic event, I don't know how you could do that, because it's just not safe for someone that big and someone that small to fight each other. That's why they have weight classes. And I just don't understand. I do understand that Netflix is into tentpole events, and people will watch this because they're into the spectacle of it all, and it will draw eyeballs. But does anything that anyone pitches that people will watch?
Interestingly, Dana White has taken a slightly different tone, praising Jake Paul for his promotional impact on the sport. In 2024, White admitted that Paul has done a great job engaging audiences, insisting that he doesn't hate him. He even commended Logan Paul as brilliant for bringing mainstream attention to boxing. Despite disagreements, White acknowledged the undeniable influence the Paul brothers have had on combat sports.
I snort cocaine, that I'm a cokehead. My rebuttal to that was, I'll tell you what, you can test me for the next 5 years for cocaine if I can test you randomly for performance-enhancing drugs the next 2 years. And I never got a response on that. But other than when me and Jake Paul have gone back and forth with each other, I've never said anything to defame him. And then when he was talking about his fights being fixed, I don't think that people are actually saying that they're predetermined outcomes, that they're fixing the fights, with predetermined outcomes. They're saying, if you're fighting a 60-year-old fucking guy that can barely walk to the fucking ring, right, and almost died 2 months before that, it's almost like a predetermined outcome. That's what they're fucking.
Looking ahead, Jake Paul is being positioned as the favorite heading into his exhibition with Davis on November 15, 2025 at State Farm Arena, Atlanta. Despite Davis's impressive 30-1 record, Paul's sheer size advantage, 65 pounds heavier and nearly 8 inches taller, cannot be ignored. While Tank is known for his knockout power and speed, the exhibition rules and massive physical disparity may neutralize his weapons. Paul's confidence, size, and strategy could give him a real shot at pulling off an upset.
This fight has to be the most talked about thing that's going on in sports right now. And this fight has made us all hypocrites, really, and I'll tell you why. Also, I got to tell you guys who I think will win the fight and why I think Jake Paul wins the fight. I think either Jake Paul wins or it's a draw.
No.
No way.
Nope.
since it's an exhibition. And we can talk about that. When you saw at the beginning, this fight is just impactful. And as boxing pugilists, many of us, we hate this shit. But as boxing fans, you want real shit, right? You see Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. But then what you really want is what you're getting out of like Brian Norman Jr. and Devin the American Dream Haney.
Show me my bitch. Show me my bitch. Show me my bitch. Show me my bitch. Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. What the fuck your security at, nigga? I don't need no right here. Yeah. What's up, nigga? What's up, nigga? You a bitch, nigga. You a bitch. Yeah, all right.
You have Gervonta Tank Davis fanboys. I'm talking about huge fans of Tank. Turning over on him, I saw Tank Davis fans put up pictures of him as a clown and shit. Like, this is crazy. And I get it, I totally get it, but at the same time, it has revealed a huge amount of hypocrisy. Because guess what? With everybody talking about this fight, and I see people talking about the fight who doesn't even watch boxing, especially those who don't watch boxing, let's keep it real. This is a fight for the casuals, okay? But at the same time, with so many people talking about this fight, good or bad, the way the internet just erupted and all the socials just went crazy, this fight is going to be one of the biggest fights in history.
Lamont Roach Jr. has not hidden his frustration, openly criticizing Davis for chasing an exhibition payday instead of honoring their rematch. Roach accused Tank of prioritizing money over competition, calling it disrespectful to the sport and the fans. He reminded everyone that their controversial draw earlier this year created huge demand for a rematch, and even hinted that he might instead pursue a showdown with Shakur Stevenson if Tank continues to avoid him.
I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that, and I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate true boxing media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won, and I can't wait to do it again.
Prominent commentators have also dismissed Paul Davis as a circus act, not serious boxing. They scoff at the glaring mismatch, nearly 65 pounds and 8 inches difference, arguing it feels more like pro wrestling than a fight. Critics accuse both men of prioritizing money and attention over competition, calling the bout a stunt that damages boxing's credibility.
Boxing Doctor News. Hold on to your seats, boxing fans. The fight we've all been waiting for is finally happening. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis this November in Atlanta. But here's the twist. There's a massive weight difference. Paul, a cruiserweight, against Davis, who's never even hit 140 pounds. Is this fair? Is it safe? And get this. We don't even know if it's an exhibition or a sanctioned fight yet. But one thing's for sure, there will be a definitive outcome. So, who's got more to lose? The YouTube sensation or the lightweight champ? And what about those Anthony Joshua rumors? Looks like we'll have to wait till 2026 for that showdown. This is boxing's biggest mismatch or the upset of the century in the making. What do you think?
Manny Pacquiao, however, gave a more measured response. While acknowledging Jake Paul's talent, Pacquiao stressed that boxing should focus on real, competitive fights rather than exhibitions. He noted that exhibition bouts are fine occasionally, but true boxing thrives on evenly matched contests. Pacquiao also sent a message to Tank Davis saying he would gladly face him at 145 or 147 pounds, making it clear he's still open to big fights if Davis is willing to step up in weight.
Gervonta Davis has a possible fight, man. You like that fight because he's little, like he's your size.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I like that, but let's finish first this one because this one is a taller champion like that. So I have a lot of things to do in training camp.
Is there ever any possibility that you would go back in the ring and fight someone like a Tank Davis?
If he wants, then if he come up to 147, then we can fight.
He can't meet you at 140?
145 maybe.
What happens? You have a lot of experience, but he's explosive. What would happen in that fight?
Oh, that's not a problem for me because I'm experienced fighter. So.
Adding to the drama, Davis had previously announced plans to retire after 2025, citing frustration with boxing and a desire to step away from the spotlight. But in a surprise twist, he's now set to fight Jake Paul in an exhibition on November 14, 2025 in Georgia, streamed live on Netflix. The massive size gap has sparked criticism that Tank is chasing money instead of legacy, leaving many to question his true commitment.
Davis after next year, I'm out of it.
After our second fight.
You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
At a press conference, Davis himself seemed to confirm those doubts, bluntly stating, "I grab money. I'm out." Promoter Eddie Hearn reinforced the idea that Tank may already be checked out, driven by financial reward rather than glory. Many believe this fight with Jake Paul is simply his last cash grab before walking away from the sport.
Man, real when it's TV, like, subscribe, you know my slogan, man. Tank Davis, man, versus Jake Paul, man. What a great fight. What a great Davis and Goliath type of event, you know what I'm saying? Straight for Netflix. It's gonna be in Atlanta, it's gonna be packed, you know what I'm saying? The State Farm Arena, it's gonna be packed. I've been to ATL, it's gonna be packed out there. Tank never fighting again. He's never fighting none of y'all guys again, man. You know what I mean? Once he get to 30, 40 million, maybe a 50, I mean, if he get 30, 40 million, somewhere around Tyson numbers, it's over. It's over, you know what I'm saying? I'm not coming back to fighting on Lamont Roach again. No, for what? I can't even get to them darkest places to fight this dude. He's boring, he's quiet, he don't say too much to get me going. Of course, Stevenson, the same thing. You used to be my boy. We used to be cool now. When I got to a certain level, you want to fight and take my belt. There's certain ways you go about that, and that's why Tank don't like that nigga, you know what I'm saying? And the same thing with Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? That's why he don't like them niggas, because they always cool, you know what I'm saying? So, you know how it is when you're young and you're cool, you think niggas is your boys, and all of a sudden niggas want to fight you, you feel some type of way, though, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's the business, though, but it's the way I go about these things, you know what I'm saying? But we can fight, get this money, and we both still gonna be cool, you know what I'm saying? But Tank felt like it was some disrespect there, so you gotta remember, Tank came in the game under Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? He showed him how to pick and choose these fights and how to get this bread, you know what I mean? He just following the Mayweather train. He just doing it on a gangster way, you know what I'm saying? And his flaws is Mayweather, but you know what I mean? You know the words I'm looking for, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, he following the footsteps of Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? Simple, you know what I'm saying? Get that bag. You'll never see Tank fight again. Why else? Why would he fight against? Who could he come back and fight after Jake Paul? Nobody, baby. Like and subscribe, you know my slogan. Let's tune in. Jake Paul, Gervonta, Tank Davis. We up next, November 15th.
Fans and analysts alike are divided. Some slam the fight as disgraceful greed, a sideshow drowning in money, while others admit there's something oddly fascinating about such a bizarre mismatch. Whether disappointing or intriguing, the general consensus is that this bout is about cash, not competition.
Boxing ring Jake Paul's ever stepped into has been an exhibition, in my opinion. Probably the only one that hasn't is the Tommy Fury fight, which he lost, because that was two guys, similar size, similar experience.
Similar age,
who had a white-collar style boxing match, a very raw novice boxing match. And I'm not here to dig into Jake Paul's boxing ability. I think for a kid that's got the wealth he has and is training the way he is, he's treating the sport outside the ring. He's treating the sport right. He seems to be putting the work in. I can see improvements when he's in there. He's still an absolute raw novice that would never ever get close to winning a British title, and that probably won't ever change. But he's obviously in love with the sport and the things that he's doing for women's boxing. Oh, got me back.
And so the question remains, does this fight damage boxing's legacy, or is it the kind of hype the sport needs to stay alive? Drop your verdict in the comments.